Hi, welcome to Garage Geek. This is not my house. I'm actually in a hotel room and it's Thursday night and I was gonna record my Friday night chat tonight. But I decided, because I've watched one movie and I got through 2 books and I thought I would just talk about those things, but then I decided it's really not enough. So I'm going to kind of make a travel video. I actually took 2 days off work, which is something I very rarely do, because my friend's daughter is getting married. I came up a day early to the Bay Area just because I wanted to get some of my passport stamps. So I'm actually going to talk about this a little bit. So I'm going to be at my friend's. He lives in Castro Valley, and right now I'm in San Francisco. So in case you didn't know, I live in Los Angeles. So I drove north about 6 hours and I came a day early. The wedding is tomorrow on Friday, but there's going to be parties. Like they're the type that like to party. So we're going to be pretty much partying Friday night, Saturday night, and I won't drink anything on Sunday, but he'll probably even want to have a Sunday brunch. But no, I'm gonna have to say no on that. And I usually get very drunk at these things. My friend usually just plies me with liquor, but I really have to stick to beer. I always say that too, and I never do. And I always end up vomiting. I hate it, and having this huge hangover, driving home with this like pounding headache. I need to avoid that. Like I said, I got up and I drove 6 hours, and on the way, the first place I stopped to fill up with gas, I had to go to the bathroom. My car is actually really good on gas. Like I was halfway and I'd only used like 2 or 3 bars in my car because I have a Prius, so it's kind of nice. So anyways, I stopped and there were these in the back. There was this stagecoach, like a fake stagecoach, and I love that kind of kid stuff. So I took a couple pictures. I'm going to show you. Then I was dumb because I drank a Pepsi. I was drinking a Pepsi kind of just for the caffeine. And I won't tell you what else I was doing in the car because if my husband ever watches this, he would kill me. But it has something to do with whatnot. That's all I'm going to say. I stopped, after drinking my Pepsi, and I was, really hungry. So I went to Five Guys. Now, I know it's a burger place, but it was the only thing there. And so I went, and they had a veggie sandwich. So I was like, oh, that sounds good. It was grilled, because I'm a vegetarian. So it was grilled onions, mushrooms, and something else. And they put it on a hamburger bun. And man, when I ate it, it was so disgusting. It was so gross. I took 2 bites of it and I threw it away. I could not eat it. It was so gross. All I did was end up eating this, and I bought the little fries, and the little fries came in a cup and they were all overflowing everywhere. Not like McDonald's, like they filled it up. Basically my lunch was all starch. It was pretty bad. So then I finally came in to San Francisco, and it was really nice because I used to live in San Francisco. The reason I wanted to come here is, again, I wanted to get my stamps. I'm going to talk about that. So as I was driving, I was passing all these places that I'd already been to. I went over the bridge. I love how I was using my GPS on my phone, not the one in the car, because the one in my car wouldn't get the exact address of the first place I was going. So I was using my phone. And as I was driving over the bridge, it was like changing. And it actually showed me going through the bridge. Like, it was pretty cool. I actually managed to take a couple of pictures. So I'm going to show those as I was going. So I came over the Bay Bridge, right? And it's actually changed a lot. I didn't get any pictures, obviously, while I was driving. But as I was going, across the bay, there was a group of seagulls flying. I wish I had a video of that. They were flying right next to the bridge in formation. And as I looked, like they were right there. They were flying, kind of with the car. It was so crazy cool. I so wish I had that on video. It was awesome. I live in an area that is it's not landlocked, but like to go anywhere in Los Angeles, it's like hella traffic. So I very rarely get to the water or the beach. So as I was coming over, and then I had to drive from, like, if San Francisco is like this, so I came this way, and then I had to go through the whole city and go up to get to the first place I wanted to go. So the first place that I wanted to go was called the North Fort Point. And you'll see a picture of it. It's at the very base of the Golden Gate Bridge. When I got there, I was shocked because I'd never been there. I was like genuinely shocked because I used to live in San Francisco. I might as well start talking about this book. So I have this, I graduated to this. So this is the original passport book I bought. I had been to many places, never got stamps, but basically everywhere you go, they call them passport cancellation stamps. So it has the name of the place and then the day that you visited, and then you can get little stickers to put in there. It's divided by region of the United States. This is a really fun way. It's just a fun and interesting thing to do. So of course I'm in this area right now. So I've traveled across the country a couple of times, but I didn't always have this book. This one is, if you're casual, you just, wherever you go, you just you put the stamps in, right? So for whichever place you've been, like this one is kind of a mess, but it doesn't have to be pretty. This one I put stickers all over. Oh, it's just like this is where I've been. And but then I graduated to this one. This one is like the big boy. So this one has every national park site. You actually have to buy stickers to put in here. They release about 9 stickers every year. And so if you really want to do this, it's an investment because you have to go back and buy all the stickers. And then every place you go, you get the stamp. So this one is for like if you graduate to want to be, the serious collector. So for example, I've been to 1, 2, 3, 5 places on this page. I don't yet have the sticker for this. That must mean they probably haven't printed one yet, because every year they put out new ones. And in fact, they just put out the one for 2024. I'll try to include a picture. They put out the one for 2024 and I haven't bought it yet. I'm hoping that when I go to the National Parks office tomorrow where I'm going, that they'll have it. Let me get to the California section. Today, I had this specific goal to come and do 3. There's 3 of them. So I went to Fort Point, the Golden Gate National Recreation Area, and then one more, which I'll talk about. This one, like, I've been here tons of times when I lived here. And in fact, I was so happy because after I went here, I tried to go here just because I wanted to go through the shop, but the parking was horrible. Like, it wasn't horrible, it was packed. Now, everywhere I went today, there was very few people, and I was really thankful, except for this place. Now, this place is, basically a tourist trap. But this one was almost empty, and I didn't even know about it. And when I went there, I was so surprised at what a cool place it was. It's a fort at the very base of the Golden Gate Bridge, and it's 3 or 4 stories high, and I've never seen a fort like this. It's got like a courtyard, and at the very top, there's a lighthouse. That's the Golden Gate Bridge. And it's all stone, and the staircases to go up it are stone staircases, and they were kind of scary. I gotta turn this off or I'll break my neck. Like, I was filming going up the stairs. I might include a video clip, but I had to turn it off because I was afraid I was gonna fall. And so I filmed going up the first couple of steps, and I turned it off, and then I filmed going up the last couple steps. But it was 3 stories. So I would go 1, walk around, and then go to another, and then walk around, and finally got to the top. Wow, the views of the bay and the Golden Gate Bridge. My car's down there. Were gorgeous. It was like, I could not believe I'd never been to this place. It was less than half a mile than the Golden Gate National Recreation Visitor Center. It was right there, but I kept going around and there was no parking. And even the parking attendant said, "Hey, you're going in the wrong way." I was like, really? All I do is doing this circling, and I guess they don't want you to circle, so they have it so that if you go through it once, you must exit. And I couldn't go back in to circle again, and I guess that was going the wrong way in traffic. So I was like, whatever. So then I drove up and had to drive all the way around and drive back again. And at that time I was just like, nope, I'm out of here. I'd been there tons of times before, but I just never had been in that shop. So that frustrated me, and I got out of there. But I was lucky because they had the stamp at the first place I went to. I was like, nah, I didn't need to go in there anyway. I was just going there because I wanted to get my husband like a cap. And I just like to shop in those places in general. Half a mile from there, I stopped at the Palace of Fine Arts. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Palace of Fine Arts, but I think it was from the 1939 World's Fair. It's basically just this plaster building. It's not even, it's like, if you go in it, you could see it's like chicken wire with plaster on it, basically. But it's this gorgeous, they call it a palace, but it's like this dome. It's got this man-made lake in front of it, and I've always loved that place. It's really great to go there at night and just walk around. It's so cool because they light it up, and there's like this fountain, and there's usually like a lot of ducks and geese there. It's kind of like this really weird magical place in San Francisco, and it's like, you know, on the marina. I went there and I found a parking spot immediately. I was like shocked. But the funny thing was, my daughter told me, watch out, you know, everywhere in San Francisco they're saying you got to be careful because people are breaking in your cars. And so when I went to the Palace of Fine Arts, and right where I parked, there was this sign showing, you know, a car that was vandalized, and they're like, watch out. So I was like, what the heck? So I just I'd been to the Palace of Fine Arts so many times. And so I just looked at it. I sat down for a little while. I walked up to the water. There was a couple there getting wedding photos. There always are. So I didn't walk through it and all around it because I was like, you know, I had all my stuff for my trip in my car, and I was just like, no, I'm not going to do that. And I was already getting tired because I had walked, you know, the whole fort up and down all the stone stairs after driving all day. I ended up walking 5 miles. My phone told me 5 miles, kind of hilly too. After driving all day, I was like really tired. So then I got to my hotel, and you know, it's not, you know, it's Motel 6. So it's, you know, not the greatest motel in the world, but it was good. I just needed a place to crash. It's actually in a really nice area. This is Lombard. I was able to drop off all my stuff, and I was really tired, but it was 4 o'clock, and I realized that the last place that I wanted to go was very near, and it's called the San Francisco Maritime Museum. The San Francisco Maritime. This is in a really cool place. It's right next to Ghirardelli Square. It's about a block or 2 blocks from Fisherman's Wharf. I went to this place about 2 blocks away, and I found free parking, 4-hour free parking. Half a block later, it was paid, and I didn't see any other free parking anywhere. Now, it was probably free because there was a lot of homeless tents all over the place. But I had already taken everything out of my car, so I wasn't too worried about it. And I've got a Prius. Nobody wants to break into one of those. I don't think those are like highly stolen cars, but who knows? Basically, I walked everywhere. I walked all along the marina, and I walked to Fisherman's Wharf. I got a lot of great pictures. I was actually able to buy my husband some stuff, but the funny thing is I wasn't paying attention, and I thought I grabbed him a medium shirt and cap combination, and I ended up getting him a double extra large. I was like, what? But the good thing is I went to the Maritime Museum, you know, National Park Office, but they were closed. I didn't read it correctly. They are only open Fridays through Sundays. And so I came on a Thursday. Now, it's not that big a deal because it's very close to my hotel, and it's only like half a mile drive where I parked, and then it was like a 2-block walk. So I'm just going to go tomorrow morning. They open at 9. I don't have to be at the wedding till 12, so I'll be good. I checked the place that I bought that from. They also open 9, so I'll be able to get in and out. But I was able to walk all along, you know, the marina, Fisherman's Wharf, and there actually weren't a lot of people again. And I got a lot of really, really nice pictures. I mean, just touristy stuff. And it was so nice, you know, just to be in all these places that, you know, I'd been so many times before. I really wanted to go to Castro. I really wanted to go to Haight. And I also drove past City Lights bookstore. I would have liked to stop there. I was actually thinking of going for dinner at Castro because there's this slice pizza place that I used to go to all the time. There's also one in Haight. And I like the shop, so I just wanted to go there, park, and just kind of walk around and see how the neighborhoods have changed. I actually used to live, while I was in the military, I actually had an apartment at the very top of Haight over the base of Golden Gate Park. It was a couple blocks over from Haight. It was a cool place to live. But it had a shared bathroom, and that did not work off. Like sometimes the person who shared the bathroom with me, like it was a system of locking doors. They would forget and they would lock the door on my side, and when they left, they wouldn't unlock it. Couldn't get into the bathroom, so It was these crazy living conditions, but you know, I was like, what, 18, 19, 20. I don't even know how old I was, but it didn't matter. I mean, I had an apartment in San Francisco. It was so cool. And my friend also, she had an apartment. Hers was near Hay 2, I think. I remember her apartment was cool because it was like the bottom floor of a building. So you would like go downstairs to go in, and like you could see people walking by. That was a cool apartment that she had. Way better than mine. I had this like crappy studio thing. It was horrible. After I walked all around, I was so tired. I walked back to my car, drove back to my hotel. I was really hungry because I hadn't eaten. So I walked out of my hotel, and the first restaurant I came to was a nice one. It was an Italian restaurant. My hotel isn't the greatest, but it's actually in a really nice neighborhood. There's a lot of shops and stores all around here. So I decided to film this because Sleepy Reader 666, I was showing him my stamps. He wasn't really familiar with this system, I think. And so I wanted to show them off. This is something that I've been doing for a few years. The first time I drove across the United States, I actually didn't have it. So I missed a lot of stamps. And I think I bought it toward the end, and I started putting in the stamps of the places I've gone. Then the really bad thing is I bought this, and I had been to so many places where I got stamps, and now this is the one where I have to fill it up. Some of the really difficult places, I'm just writing them letters, and I'm sending a self-addressed stamped envelope in and a blank. You can buy a strip of 3 little circles that are stickers, and you can stamp those if you don't want to carry this around. For example, I wrote to, where was it? I wrote to the Statue of Liberty. I'm like, I've been to the Statue of Liberty a couple times, and I'm just like, I don't want to like go through it's a lot of hassle to get to the Statue of Liberty, right? I'm in Los Angeles. I'd have to travel all the way to New York, nowhere to stay, horrible parking, you got to take a ferry all day. I was just like, and I had just taken I took my daughter on this trip. And so I wrote to them, and they stamped it, and they sent it back to me, and I put it in my book. And you know what? I'm totally fine with that because I'd been there already. I've done that with a couple of places that I don't want to go back again. Oh, and I might do that for Muir Woods. I used to go to Muir Woods all the time, but now I've heard it's like this big thing. You gotta like park and get on a tour bus, and then you have to pay, and you have to do this and do that, and there's like huge lines. And we used to just go up and go all through the woods. It was like not a big thing, but you know, everything, you know, a lot of places have become much more commercialized, right? And you know, that's good. It brings in money, it brings in the tourists. With that comes, you know, a lot of disadvantages as well. So that is my trip. It's not really a Friday Night Chats. I think I'm going to do a midweek chat, but I'm going to go ahead and try to edit this and add the pictures like I said. Hopefully this wasn't boring for you. I mean, it's just basically it was a Garage Geek travel video. I'm out of the garage. If you enjoyed it, please let me know, and thank you as always for the support.